Jeff, the road safety regulations are currently up for review. Is this a good opportunity for members to offer their input?
Yeah, it is, David. So these are the Victorian Road Safety Vehicles Regulations, and this is coming through the Department of Transport, which is the old Vic Roads, and they're currently seeking industry and community feedback on the review of the regulations. So these are the regulations that determine things like vehicle registration processes and fees, licensed vehicle testers, LVTs, and light vehicle standards, so they're very important. Regulations in Victoria, regulations like this are reviewed every 10 years, and currently these are in an interim stage, but they expire on the 3rd of October, so there's a short timeline for feedback on this. There is a regulatory impact statement, a RIS, and an overview document that accompanies the draft exposure regulations, and the RIS outlines the reasons for making regulations and provides some proposed changes and a rationale around the sorts of things the department are thinking about. And often there are options that can be discussed, and those options are where they're seeking feedback. So the RIS is a great place to see where your feedback can be provided, and it's around very specific questions relating to different sections of the regulations. The sorts of issues that they're seeking feedback on, there's a lot, but just some of them. Things like the parameters for recording written off vehicles and the written off vehicle register, the WAVA. Club permits, gas compliance certificates, and also transitioning to the new roadworthy certificate and vehicle certificates. And a lot of you are involved in that right now. That's the e-roadworthy program, licensing and registration of mitre trucks, VIV inspectors, that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of facets that impact directly on different members. That's why it's important that people have a look at these. Once the feedback's been received and any changes provided through the regulations and the review, the department and the government will implement them over the next 12 to 24 months. The policy team here at VACC are in the process of generating a response, and particularly around those questions in the RIS. And VACC's Industry Policy Advisor, John Khoury, is leading that work. And whilst a lot of the feedback that we're putting into this document comes through the divisions and other discussions we're having every day with members, we'd really appreciate some targeted feedback around some specific questions that relate to your type of business. The best place to respond, again, is through the regulatory impact statement, and the reason for that is because they break down questions that are a bit easier to respond to. And again, when you go and look at the full draft exposure document, it's under this little tab called See Other. Just be careful of that, and we've highlighted that behind me. So if you're providing an email response, that goes back to John Khoury, and the link's provided here. Or if you just want to talk to John about a particular part of the review, give him a call. We don't want people doing work that we're already responding to. And also your feedback only has to be a couple of lines. It doesn't have to be War and Peace, but tell us what question out of the RIS, there's a question number, where that question came from, or what page in the document that you're referring to. That'll just help us backtrack that. The draft, any draft from the VACC needs to be back to government by the 8th of July. So in reality, we would need feedback from members in the next 2 weeks so that we can help formulate that in part of our response to government. We would really appreciate member feedback on this. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. A couple of lines around a particular issue is fine. And here's the link behind me. Here's the phone number if you want to have a discussion with John Khoury about it. And we would welcome any feedback on this review.